One of the most quiet neighborhoods in Los Angeles, right in between Santa Monica and Culver City, Mar Vista is having its moment. And this 5-bedroom, 6-bathroom, 3557 square foot home is exactly why. My name is Eddie Fallah, luxury developer and real estate agent right here in Los Angeles, and I can't wait to tour this home with you guys today. Today we're going to tour a home that perfectly encapsulates where Los Angeles luxury development is heading right now. And that's more of a warm, natural tone that feels more homey than flashy. This home right here on Navy Street in Mar Vista is the embodiment of warm architecture, clean lines, natural finishes, and luxury without trying too hard. I haven't seen a home that was developed like this in a long time that shows so much restraint but still gives you that feel of luxury. So as we're standing outside here, I want you to take a look at this Santa Barbara inspired stucco that has been painstakingly handcrafted right along this side of the home. And that's paired with this white brick facade on the other side, which I really love because these two natural tones really blend in together well, but they give you character without popping out at you and trying too hard to do too much. You add in the black clean lines, these clean windows, everything kind of blends together nice, which I really like. You feel luxury, but more than just a boxy McMansion type home that you've seen a lot in LA these days, this is an architecturally significant but warm palette. So let's head inside, and I can't wait to show you guys what the living room looks like. But before we do, please make sure you subscribe and you like this video because we're going to be doing a ton of these house tours around the city of Los Angeles, and I can't wait to show you where developers are headed these days with an eye for talent. Come on inside, let's see what we got. So as you enter the front of the home, the first thing you notice is this covered entryway, which kind of compresses your experience before everything opens up in here. Good architecture is about creating emotional depth to a piece of art, which in this case is this home. And when you walk in here, the first thing you notice is obviously you have this large open space, you have the square footage, but the emotional depth is there. As you can see on this front door, it's the same patterned wainscoting that we're gonna see throughout the home, just to add continuity, some consistency into the architectural design, makes it all feel like part of the package. So I'm gonna walk over here into the living room first to show you this wainscoting that I love. As you can see, the cream tone that they've added into the interior of the home, it just adds a little bit more warmth to the home. It makes it feel more homey. You're not just in some medicine box or a hospital that's just painted completely white, which sometimes can feel boxy. This wainscoting is not a simple feat. The consistency of the lines, the consistency of the spacing, that takes a lot of time. I have a lot of time and appreciation for wainscoting that is done perfectly and that is done with this much care all throughout the home. Many developers, they get tired of wainscoting after a little bit of time. They just think, you know what, this is such a headache, it's such a pain in the ass, I'm gonna stop doing it all across the home. He really took the time to make sure it was done perfectly. So, big thing I appreciate. And the other thing that it allows is for the entire home to have just a little bit more character in certain pieces, which is what I'm gonna show you later. You have these wide plank European oak floors, which again, I love wide plank oak floors. You have these beautiful gridded windows in here, plenty of sliders that open up all throughout the home. Now, I wanna bring your attention over to this fireplace. You see, when you pick a stone that has this much design on it, this much veins, this much sort of character, and you really want to go for it like that, you can do so if the rest of the package is done with the simple colors, natural palettes, and natural tones. This is a beautiful fireplace piece. It draws your eyes towards it right as you enter the home. And again, we're talking about sight lines. We were talking about it on the last tour. When you enter the home, you have a sight line all the way to the back that gives you a feeling of knowing exactly what the space is providing right when you walk in. But then after you see that, your eyes are naturally looking towards this gorgeous fireplace. Now, let's take a look at some of the furnishing in here. You have this curved silhouette couch in here that really blends the space together. I like the way that they staged it. I like the way that they furnished it. And I'll bring you back to this dining area. Again, you have these natural European wide oak floors. So again, you want to have this natural wood dining table, which kind of blends into the space. So let's follow our way over here. As you can see, plenty of artwork around the home. One of the things I love about a wainscot design like this is it really makes art pop. It does make it feel like a gallery in here rather than just a plain wall with art pieces that are randomly scattered throughout. This feels like a sort of a border, a canvas for your beautiful art pieces. And for some of you art collectors out there, that's a big deal. So wainscoting, when done tastefully, can really accentuate the art inside your home. Now, when you walk through here, you have your little breakfast area. So this could be your little breakfast spot in the morning. Sit down, have a coffee, maybe read the newspaper. Because this is not your typical modern home. You want to have modern, but with natural warmth. And that's something I do like about some of the furniture design that they've picked in here. Obviously, you have some more decorations over here that just fit in with the style of the home. But let's look at this gorgeous kitchen. So walking into the kitchen, the first thing that you really realize is that this home was designed all around lifestyle. So with lifestyle in mind, everything needs to make sense to make ease of living inside this home at the forefront of design. First thing I love about this kitchen is that you seem to have this shaker style cabinet, but the shaker is a lot thinner than your typical white shaker profile. And that's something that makes it feel a lot more modern, especially when you add these modern pulls in here. Now, one thing I always say when it comes to kitchen design, the hardware, this being the hardware right here that you use, can really dress up a kitchen to make it luxury. So that doesn't mean that you need to spend crazy amounts of money on cabinetry, which they actually did here, because right here is in this kitchen is where you're seeing the developer budget go into. And that's very evident as soon as you walk in here. Now, I love this desaturated blue-green tone that they used in here. I know that it's a lot different than the other color palettes inside the home, but somehow it really does make sense in here because when you walk around, it adds a lot more of that sort of distinction into the design. It doesn't feel like the whole home now is just bland and maybe just you're kind of walking around going, okay, every room feels the same. I like that they went with a nice desaturated tone so it's not too much. In here you have fridge, freezer combination that blends perfectly into your kitchen. This is nothing new in LA luxury design, but I really want to bring your attention to this stone. I really like this stone. To me, it feels like some sort of luxury quartzite countertop on an oversized island. I like the direction that it's facing because it doesn't really make sense here to be looking over there, especially if we were to pan the camera over, you would see an outside view here, a living room view over there. So it makes more sense to have this kitchen sort of be its own space, your prep area, your entertaining area, and then you can move on into the living room when you're done. Now, the other bold thing that this developer really did in here that I do appreciate because it's not easy to pull off is they continued this quartz up onto the backsplash. Now, in many homes that I've seen with developers that have been trying too hard in Los Angeles is that they will take the quartz from the countertop all the way up and then it just feels so busy. It looks tacky. It looks not tasteful. This actually blends in pretty well. And one of the most difficult parts of doing something like this is where the stone ends and another begins. That's when you start to kind of see the blemishes in the design. Over here, as you can see, and this is not easy to do, they were able to continue the stone using, they had to source two pieces of stone that were from the same piece originally to make sure that the design continues through. So obviously you have your pan filler here. As you can see, the other thing is they have to cut through this stone to get all of these things with the perfect lines in. So that's another way that I look at to make sure the developer took their time doing something like that. So you have your Thermador stove here. Thermador, very good brand. I like that you have plenty of storage space in these islands. And again, over here, you have your warmer inside of the island. Who doesn't like a warmer? Gentlemen, go and ask your wives if they would like this kitchen and then show them this. We'll see, we'll take a poll on how many of them want you to buy the house when we're done with the video. Again, another thing I really like, you got a little bit of empty space here. You have plenty of storage in the kitchen. You don't need more. So let's add some design elements to it. Put your knickknacks in here. Again, you walk into here. This is your entryway design. You got your bench over here. Here's some areas where you can store some shoes or whatever else you'd like to down here, and sit down, put on your shoes. Way more storage everywhere. Again, storage being one of the big things that I respect in developments. Now, the interesting thing about the powder behind me is they kind of went with a pink design. I don't know, I think that might have been a little too much if you ask me personally. Now let's walk away and into our downstairs bedroom over here. So this bedroom, again, has its own separate entrance, which, as I've talked about in previous videos, I really like to have that option, especially if you're gonna make an office space. But it's oversized. You got a 12 by 11 room in here, which is a huge guest bedroom. So if you do have some elderly family members, or you have people that just really don't want to deal with stairs every day, this is a great area for them, especially with it being right next to the front door. So one thing I love about the ensuite bathroom in here is they went with this beige porcelain tile design, which I really appreciate because it blends seamlessly with these wide plank oak floors, both in colors and material palette. Now, what that does is it means you don't need to have some ugly threshold in between, which in a lot of the cheaper builds, you're gonna see that threshold because they're trying to cover up the mismatch between palette designs. So in here you have your single vanity with plenty of storage, your toilet, and then you have your stand-up shower with the built-in niche, but they went with some bold color designs on this one. So I want you to pay attention to the different color palettes that they use in each bathroom, because the developer on this home was a little more bold than what you see in other typical designs. And that may or may not work for the buyer. In here you have your nice, beautiful walk-in closet, plenty of storage, plenty of space. Closets are huge in design. Now I want to walk you over to the outside, because outside we're going to take a look at a very functional living design that also blends in with the plenty of space you have with such a big lot. These days, buyers in Los Angeles who are in the luxury market are sick of the cold, clean lines that come with a lot of the new modern homes. They feel really cold. They don't feel like a home. I just want you to kind of take in the outside of this home. Again, with that hand done stucco, you have the black gridded windows that kind of give you that more feeling of a home, a residence, rather than just a cold box. And this outside palette, which you can see with the roof design, with the way that the windows are designed, just make you feel like you're stepping into home. Now, outside, you have this gorgeous entertaining area, plenty of seating here. You have an outdoor dining. You have your big sliders here that open right up from the kitchen and from the living room, which really is conducive to an indoor-outdoor flow, especially when entertaining. Now, you have this big yard with plenty of grass. That's great for kids that want to run around. You want to put some maybe badminton out here. You want to have a dog that has its own private place to be able to run around. Now, in a previous video, one of the biggest concerns that people had was the lack of a pool inside of a home that is this luxury. And I want to address that really quickly, because the way that it works in the development world is a lot different, okay? If you find a home that the inside of it works perfectly for you, everything inside, the architectural flow, the emotions, the natural tones, everything works for you, and the only thing that is hurting your ability to buy it is the lack of a pool, I want to tell you, a pool can easily be dug out and put in for $60,000 for maybe like a lower end pool, up to $100,000, depending on the type of pool that you want. But you can't replicate the actual home itself. How much is it going to cost you to actually build the home of your dreams on a lot that has a pool? So that's just something to keep in mind. A pool is something that can be fixed, but the overall natural feeling of the home is something that is very hard to replicate. So let's go upstairs. I want to show you the rest of the home with that in mind. So walking up the stairs, the first sense that you get is really just how grand the home is. When you're walking up the stairs, you look up at these huge ceilings, and that's when you really start to realize, wow, this is a 3,500 square foot home. It's big. And even the staircase itself, again, it plays into the natural warmth of the home. It's not trying too hard with some crazy floating staircase design. You got your black iron wrought handrails here, your natural oak hand railing, and it just plays into the warmth and the consistency of the home. So I really like the staircase design in here. That was a good choice. And of course, you have your massive wall here for a beautiful piece of artwork in your entryway. Walking into the first guest bedroom, this is not quite as big as the one you have downstairs, but still larger than your standard bedroom size. It does have your walk-in closet in there, plenty of natural light. I want you to take a look at how much light is kind of absorbed into this space. And then you have your ensuite bathroom up here with its single vanity toilet, stand-up shower with a bench. Coming into the primary room, right next to it, you have this wonderfully open space with the vaulted ceilings. I love this sort of French chateau feel that you have walking into this home. Plays again into the homey, warm sense. And then you have your large open sliding window in here. 2 large mirrors. What I love about these large mirrors, even though it is a big space already, large mirrors open up a space and make it just feel that much larger with the reflection. Plenty of more natural light over here looking out onto the street. And you have, again, a large picture wall where you can hang your favorite artwork. Walking into your primary bath, this primary bath is massive. I mean, take a look. You have your standalone tub here, which is almost like its own complete defined space inside of this bathroom. As you can see, they continued this porcelain tile all the way up the walls, which I love because to me, that's what makes a bathroom feel a lot more luxurious. It's what makes a bathroom feel a lot more grand. And then they coupled it with the color palette here that they use that blends in seamlessly with it. You kind of feel like you're in this maybe bohemian bathroom design, which again, it's just a beautiful flow into the rest of the warmth of the home. Plenty of storage inside these vanities. You have your specific towel slots in here. And then you have a nice little area where you can sit down, do your makeup, or just watch your wife get ready for the next hour and a half. Love you, honey. That's not a dig at you at all. Walking in, you have your separate toilet room and your stand-up shower in here. It's got a rainfall and standard shower combination here. And you have your hand hardware as well, so you can do what you need to do in there. But walking into this bathroom, you kind of see from the glimpse of your eye another room, and you're like, what's that? Well, let me show you what it is. It is a large primary closet. Now, what I love about this closet is you can tell it was designed with functionality in mind. Obviously, you have plenty of space in here, plenty of spaces to hang up your clothes, but check out these racks in here. If you're a shoe collector, you got plenty of space for all your shoes. So let's walk back out, and I want to show you the rest of the bedrooms inside this house. Again, walking in, plenty of airflow in here. You got so many AC ducts all throughout the home. Airflow is so important in a home this large to make sure it doesn't ever get too hot or too cold in here. Walking into your defined laundry room, again, another natural palette in terms of the stone design down here. You got the same type of quartz that matches the kitchen, which is bold again. And you have your laundry machines, plenty of storage. You have your separate sink and a nice window to take a look out right onto Navy Street. Coming back through here, one thing I do love about the upstairs design, you have this sort of classic wraparound walkway into the different rooms. Coming into this guest bedroom, look at the amount of light you're getting in here. You got 3 windows over there, another 2 on this side. You're just, I mean, it's pure light in here. That's what I love, the natural light to go with the natural tones. You got your ensuite bathroom with your vanity, stand-up shower again, and plenty of closet space. Coming into our final bedroom over here, you'll see again, more windows on this side, bringing in plenty of light into this space. Now this light kind of continues all the way down and hits directly at your dining room down there, which is a really cool, I'm sure when you're having a sunrise in this place, some of the shadows and the lighting you're gonna get throughout the home are gonna be very impressive. Now, walking in here, again, I want you to notice the doors. These doors all have the same style designs that are going on with the wainscoting throughout the house. Plenty of large windows. This is a larger room. This is probably your largest guest bedroom. I would estimate it to be about 13 by 11 over here. So very long bedroom. It's nice. It feels like its own sort of wing to the house and its own suite. So if you got an adult child, this is probably the best place you're gonna wanna put him. And then in here, you have your largest ensuite bathroom with your sink, toilet, stand-up shower. Again, very bold designs on the shower tiles, but it goes well with the house because the whole house is not trying to be bold, trying to take your attention away to 1,000 different things. A nice large walk-in closet, which is consistent with the theme of plenty of storage inside of this house. So we're gonna go back outside, we're gonna go downstairs, and let's wrap this thing up. I think you've seen enough to see how beautiful this warm architectural home truly is. And that's been a tour of this grand beautiful architectural home right here in the heart of Mar Vista. My name is Eddie Fallah. I'm a luxury developer and real estate agent right here in Los Angeles. If you're looking to buy, sell, or even lease a home in Los Angeles, or you're looking for an empty lot to be able to build your own paradise, reach out to me. All my information is in the description below. Send me an email, give me a call. I'm always available to you. And also, please make sure you like and subscribe, because we're going to be doing plenty of these house tours, and we're going to be doing plenty of informational videos showing you exactly what the LA market looks like today.